Hey everyone, Kevin Wick here. Today I wanted to talk about self-acceptance and loving oneself despite their sexuality. So growing up, I had a long challenge trying to accept and love myself for my sexuality. As I because I s- you know when I was in about middle school or so, I started realizing that I might be gay, but wasn't quite sure. Just it was it was pretty early for me, but over the years, it became more evident that I was definitely not going the road of being straight, and was definitely more attracted to men. So I had a lot of questions and challenges around how could I accept that about myself? Could I accept it about myself? I think that was the root of my fear of other people finding that out about me. I spent most of my childhood as a um, closeted gay man, and so I guess all of my childhood really. So today I wanted to talk about some of the kind of my journey and some of the tricks and tips that helped me kind of uh, change my mindset and ultimately be able to come out confidently as a gay man. So it started way back in middle school. I started, kind of noticing guys around me, and started, having, yeah, just it was in the adolescent time, and I noticed that it didn't really. I was kind of surprised because I thought I was gonna, I guess like girls per se, but that didn't, outside of friends, that didn't really seem to um, have quite the impact like it did with guys. Over time, I kind of learned that or realized that like this was starting to become, um, I started, thinking that hey, I might be gay, and I really didn't want other people finding out about it because I didn't necessarily have the greatest outlook on it, you know, um, from and just based off of culture and society. And yeah, it was challenging to kind of contain that truth about myself. In college, I ended up kind of expanding into labeling myself as bi. Kind of if it was a little bit of a stepping stone to say, hey, I wasn't like fully straight maybe, but allowed me to kind of just be a little bit more confident or comfortable with the concept of maybe being gay. And then it wasn't, and then kind of towards the end of my college, that's when I really started, kind of, making the decision for myself that like I'm not going to attempt to try to be straight anymore. I didn't feel like it would be fair, and consensually caring for the other person if I didn't, have an attraction towards them that was authentic and real. So really, that was kind of the first first moment where I really decided to live my truth. I if I had basically thought of if I had gotten married and with a woman and kids and tried to really play out a uh, traditional kind of I guess heterosexual relationship like I kind of always I guess wanted and saw in movies and stuff, that's kind of that that it would ultimately be something that I would be doing a disservice to myself and to them. And so yeah, I kind of cut that you know I guess indecision around uh, what could I find myself romantically attracted and engaged with a woman, and decided that that wasn't really who I was anymore, and I wanted to really focus on who I was, and really accept and love that. Because I had realized that going uh, not being gay would have been basically living a lie. To me, it became very clear, well, I'm going to go towards the route that is living my truth. And so that's deciding to live my truth and be my most authentic self, despite what, kind of religion and culture may put out there about, sexuality. That's really what it came down to for me was I wanted to live true for myself. And so that's what allowed me to then eventually be more confident to coming out to friends and family, um, and yeah, not really looking back. So I think in addition, when I first kind of decided to live my truth, there was also I've referenced her before, but Lady Gaga really was a big advocate and thought leader in the LGBTQ plus movement for me. So when she wrote, Born This Way, the lyrics and a bunch of other her songs really just hit home with me and really helped me feel confident in being who I was, and in particular the lyrics of um, um, God makes no mistakes um, really hit home for me. So anyway, those were some of the tips. That those are some of the biggest items that helped me be able to start accepting and loving myself for my sexuality and stop living in a lie. So it, you know, self acceptance and love, I feel like is a lifelong journey, and even to this day, I you know catch myself trying to maybe please others as opposed to taking care of my own needs first. But anyway, that was you know still working on those, but that was definitely the toughest thing for me to accept, and I think it manifested me fearing that everybody would find out that I was gay. So anyway, I'm glad to no longer really be living in that fear anymore, and so anyway, I hope this any of these tips or tricks I shared are helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if any of this resonated with you, if there have been any other mindsets or perspectives that you've had that has helped practicing self love and acceptance easier. So, all right, much love, and we'll see you in the next one.